My overconfidence in Aaron Pico last week burned us on the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity, even though Jakar Close as an underdog and Michael Venom Page did the damn thing. Again, Pico was a part of the Locky two-step, and I got burned there. So shout out to everybody that was on Lerone Murphy. I already talked about my thoughts on that fight, and if you want to hear that, you can go back to the MMA Lockcast and go to the recap section, but I don't want to rehash it. I'll take the L on the chin. Shout out to everybody that cashed on Lerone Murphy. All right, this week we're going to try to get back on the boat here with another Locky two-step and Locky Trinity, a little bit safer this time around. Again, I'd like to try to get plus money on the Locky two-step, but sometimes we'll eat some of the chalk to try to cash a ticket, and that's what I'm hoping that we can do this weekend. All right, first step up in the Locky two-step for UFC Shanghai is going to be Rong Zhu as he goes up against Austin Hubbard. This is a stylistic matchup that I believe is fully in the favor of Rong Zhu. I'm usually higher on Hubbard than most people, but I think this is a horrible stylistic matchup. I think Rong Zhu has showcased that he has good enough takedown defense now, and he'll be the superior or more violent striker against Austin Hubbard. I think Rong Zhu's forward pressure will shut down the takedowns as well as the kicking game of Hubbard, leading to Rong Zhu eventually picking him apart and finding that knockout victory. I think he does it quite dominantly as well, which is why I don't mind him as the first step in the Locky two-step. The second step is going to be Aljamain Sterling as he goes up against Brian Ortega. And similar to the Rong Zhu fight, I think stylistically speaking, this is a great matchup for the former bantamweight champion. He's already been able to go 5 rounds in the past without too much issues, and I think he can do that once again here against Brian Ortega. We know he's the better wrestler, and he has good enough BJJ to stay away from the danger that Ortega presents when fights hit the ground, and I think we'll see Sterling backpack Ortega for the majority of this fight, and it might be boring, but I think he can stay safe enough to not get finished by Ortega and hopefully help us cash this Locky two-step. Now, earlier this week, I was able to lock it in at -109 when I dropped it to the Lock of the Night Patreon, folks. Now, you're looking at just a little bit steeper here at -112. So not a huge change there. It's just a lot of love coming in on Sterling, or a little bit of love coming in on Sterling to make him a little bit chalkier of a favorite than he was earlier this week. All right, if you want to complete the Locky Trinity, we're going to go with something a little bit riskier, but something I still feel quite good about. Engage Young as he goes up against Maheshate. I believe this is a perfect matchup for Young to go out there and showcase his striking supremacy, as I think he is a cleaner and better striker than Maheshate. And just as Nicholas Mota continuously hurt Maheshate and nearly put him away in their last matchup, I think Young can do that here and actually close the show and find the finish as well. I think he has good enough durability, good enough countering, and good enough pressure, especially with that consistent jab and body work, which will eventually lead to him landing that big shot against Maheshate and putting his lights out. Now, earlier this week, I locked this parlay in at +233. Now you're looking at +230. All right, a little bit safer than last week's. I think a lot of people can agree on that. Let's see if we can get over the line here with this Locky two-step Locky Trinity. Good luck, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the prop drop. I'm still in process of researching LFA, so I either might drop that video for you guys tonight or probably tomorrow early afternoon. So if you're looking for LFA, it is coming. Just sit tight.